In the opening scene of The Blessing Bracelet, we see Dawn, a single parent who works in a veterinary clinic with her son Justin, go shopping for their new garden. She tries to get all the things they need for the new garden, well, just a few things actually, without spending much, because she is trying to get herself out of the massive debt her ex-husband left behind. Her son, Justin, assists her on this. All of Justin's suggestions don't fit into their budget, quite typical of teenagers. He loves dogs and has been asking her to get him one. He believes it will not be a problem, because she works in a veterinary clinic. However, he doesn't understand that his mom is on a budget, although she promises to get it for him when she can afford it. Back at home, while she decorates the new garden with her son as a form of bonding, and also to ease herself of the stress she is going through, her phone rings, but she refuses to pick it up, because it is from the bank. They have been calling her about repayment, but since she has no money, she isn't picking up. She decides to call them back when she finds a way out of the debt that is weighing her down. Her friend Cassie visits them in the middle of their gardening. Cassie reminds her of Galentine's, their annual Valentine's night out with her best friends, but she does not want to go because of her predicament. However, her son Justin knows she has been alone lately, and he wants her to hang out with her friends. He reminds her of how she attended every year, and he believes that it is tradition. Dawn thinks her son wants her to leave because he wants the house all to himself. Cassie, who is aware of the huge debt, inquires about the phone calls from the bank. Dawn lets her know that they still call her. Finally, she explains to her friends why she does not want to attend. She is bothered about the debts, and she explains how she has not moved on since Alan, her ex-husband, left. She is trying to secure a second job to keep up with the bills. This makes her believe that hanging out with her best friends will not solve any of her problems. Instead, they will ask about how she is faring. Cassie understands her worries, and Justin feels the same. Still, he encourages her to attend before leaving them. Dawn's phone rings the second time, and once again she does not pick up. In the next scene, we see Jordana, the lady calling from the bank. She senses that Dawn is avoiding their calls intentionally. She has no choice but to report to her boss, Ben. She believes that they will have to include her in their foreclosure list, because she is 120 days behind on payment and is avoiding her calls. But she needs his approval before notifying her. Some jobs are tough, and this is the exact situation Ben is in with Dawn's situation. He feels bad about making people's lives miserable. But there's little he can do, that's what he signed up for. He wants to be sure Jordana has tried her possible best to get Dawn to pay, before he stamps and approves the foreclosure letter. She ensures him that she did, but Dawn no longer picks up her calls. He's left with no choice but to approve the foreclosure. Dawn checks through her bills, while Cassie calls the girl to inform them they will be coming late, because she is still trying to convince her. Dawn feels she will not be able to settle the debt when she checks through her bills, and she has lost hope already. Cassie reminds her of being the most optimistic in college, and encourages her to hang out with the girls. She believes it will help her, and she needs to have fun. Dawn finally agrees to go. While getting dressed for the Galentines, Dawn sees a photo of herself, Alan, and Justin when he was still young in her wardrobe, and remembers how good they were together as a family. She returns the picture and finds a certain bracelet, but the way she looks at it shows there is more to the bracelet. She wears it and joins her friend downstairs. She shows Cassie the bracelet to see if she remembers it. Cassie remembers she could not stop making it in high school, but she doesn't remember the name. Dawn calls it a blessing bracelet. The idea behind it is that you need to find one thing God has blessed you with for each bead. However, her ex-husband Alan thought the bracelet and its idea were silly. Cassie decides to give it a try and lists things she is grateful for with each bead. Cassie believes counting their blessings is a good way to start. They head out to meet the girls in the restaurant, and on their way, Cassie encourages her to never stop making the blessing bracelets. Dawn names her friend as her first blessing right after that. As if the bracelet is magical, outside the restaurant, there is a vacancy for help, and they see it as a good sign. This makes Cassie believe that the blessings bracelet works. Dawn decides to apply. They enter, and she meets with a man named Norm Dobbins to discuss her interest in applying for the vacancy. Unknown to her, he owns the restaurant. She goes ahead to give reasons why he should help plead with the owner that she should be hired. She even goes as far as mentioning that she was voted Miss Optimistic in high school. He sees the passion in her and offers her the job. She meets again with the girls to give them the good news, and they are happy about her new part-time job. They have a nice time together before Dawn returns home renewed and glowing. She gets home to share the good news with her son Justin. He is so happy to hear about her new job. She lets him know that he will need to stay with her parents after school henceforth. He admits he will miss their time together. Dawn reaches out to her mother the next day over the phone to inform her of her new part-time job, and that Justin will need to stay with them after school till she comes back from work. Her mom acknowledges how hard she is working and promises they will keep praying for her. She believes things will turn around for her. Another call comes in for her. This call is from Jordana, the lady from the bank. She decides to pick up and tells her she is now making progress on how to get the money, but unfortunately, it is too late. They have concluded the foreclosure letter, and they want her to come for a meeting. At the veterinary clinic, Dawn is bothered about losing her home and thinks of a way out. Her coworker notices she is bothered because she is not the quiet type. She encourages her and believes she will get through it. Her words come as a relief, and she decides to be positive. Dawn meets Ben, the bank guy, when he comes in with his dog for a checkup at her veterinary clinic. His dog Lolly likes Dawn, and she helps to get the dog settled in before the doctor attends to them. Ben and Dawn get along. He feels she is good with Lolly, and she notices he is new in the neighborhood. She suggests that he takes Lolly for a walk at a dog park, and describes how to find his way there. Ben seems to like Dawn, and the connection between them is natural. After Lolly's appointment with the doctor, he asks Dawn to join him at the park she described earlier. However, because she has a lot on her table and she won't be available, she declines. He is a bit disappointed, or I dare say, heartbroken, but hopes to see her again. Before resuming her first shift at the restaurant, Dawn goes to pray in church. She has been away for a long time. It seems the recent changes in her life have given her hope for a better future. She asks for God's guidance and that he should point her in the right direction. She also wants to be able to count her blessings and be grateful to God for them. She believes God will speak to her. Dawn resumes work as a waitress at the restaurant. She meets a server named Flancy, who trains her and gives her advice on how to get big tips. It's just like she knows that Dawn needs the tips badly. She advises her to leave each table with a token that makes diners feel special, but she feels she makes it her own. Flancy tells her she buys butterscotches and mints to share with the diners, and it works for her. She lets her know that it is less about what it costs, but what it means. So Dawn has to look for how to bless the diners in her unique way. Flancy and Dawn attend to the next customers, and it turns out to be Ben with his parents. He is so pleased to meet her again, and he introduces his parents to her. They think she is lovely, making him explain that he met her at the veterinary clinic, and that she is good with Lolly. They notice he likes her, and ask him to go on a date with her. He plans to give it another try, since she turned down the first one at the veterinary clinic. He later meets her after their dinner and commends her hard work. He makes his intentions known by asking if she can reconsider going on a date with him. Dawn asks if he needs a dog walker, making Ben think that she wants to reconsider. However, she is referring to her son. She explains how much her son Justin would love to have a dog, but she wants him to understand how hard it is to own a dog. He believes she is a good mother and agrees to help her out. After all, he is one step closer to her this way. He gives her his number, and he hopes his son will be good with Lolly. But Dawn assures him that he will see this as an opportunity to prove to her how much he wants a dog. He is happy to be of help. Later, in Ben's office, Jordana tells him she is meeting with Dawn today. He implores her to be easy on Dawn, not knowing she is the Dawn that he would love to go out with. Ben believes she will be overwhelmed and need assurance. Jordana agrees to go easy on her, but she has to do her job regardless. Dawn walks into the office and counts her blessings. She thanks God for her health, the strength to come for the meeting, the car she drove there, and for putting Ben again in her path last night. It helps her to remain positive before she meets Jordana. While she waits for Jordana, she does not get to see Ben, because he has a meeting to attend. She meets with Jordana, who informs her that the foreclosure has been approved. This is sad news, but she asks for more time, and even lets her know about her second job. Dawn gives her a check for a small amount, just to start her commitment from there. Jordana collects it and encourages her to do more than that to stop the foreclosure. She has hope, and believes she will find her way around it. Later, Dawn thinks of the token she will give to the customer at the restaurant, and she thinks of the blessing bracelet. She looks for her leftover supply of the blessing bracelets in her garage. Justin walks into the garage to tell her how good he is with Lolly and what he has taught her. He believes he is ready to own his own dog. This persistent behavior makes Dawn believe he may have a career in sales. At the mention of sales, Justin remembers his dad, who was a salesman as well. He misses his dad and asks her why he left. This comes as a shock to Dawn, and she tries to find the words to say that will not make him see his dad as a bad person. So she tells him he left because he was having a bad time. Justin believes her and hopes to see his dad soon. Curious, Justin asks about the blessings bracelet, and she explains that the 4 beads in the bracelet are to count the blessings in the wearer's life. She lets him know of her plans to give the blessing bracelets to their customers at the restaurant. Justin helps her mom with the leftover supply, and also counts his blessings using the blessing bracelet. Dawn gives the blessing bracelets to their customers at the restaurant as planned. However, one of the customers named Pearl, who has a sad look, declines because she does not wear jewelry. This makes Dawn explain what the blessing bracelet is and how to count her blessings, so she doesn't even have to wear it, just to keep it in her possession. Pearl agrees to give it a try. Later, Flancy tells her about Pearl, who has been so sad after she lost her husband 6 months back. The couple used to come to the cafe together, but ever since he passed, she has been the only one coming in. Dawn hopes the blessing bracelet will help her and make her happy again. Once again, Dawn goes to pray in the church. She sees a signpost with the words, believe, hope, and forgiveness written on it. She prays for God to be with Justin, and confesses how she finds it hard to forgive Alan, her ex-husband, because he broke her heart and left them. Cassie is happy to see her church, and encourages her to not stop believing in God. They discuss how the blessing bracelet started in high school because of Dawn's breakup, and Cassie believes it can still work now, when they are much older. Meanwhile, Ben gets along with Dawn while Justin takes Lolly for a walk in the park. He asks about Justin's dad, because he feels Justin misses him. This makes Dawn explain that they are divorced, and he feels sorry for her. Feeling more at ease with him, she tells him about the blessings bracelet, and he also uses the beads to count his blessings. In the restaurant, she gives the blessing bracelet to all her friends, who are happy to see it once more since high school. Then she sights Pearl coming in and goes to see her. Surprisingly, Pearl shows her that she is wearing the blessing bracelet now. It has helped her to be thankful for some little things, even though she doesn't have much yet. Well, there is an improvement, and it is a pleasant one at that. Dawn is surprised, but happy it helped her. Flancy cannot believe that she has managed to break through the walls of Pearl. Some of the customers order many pieces of the blessing bracelets for Easter gifts to their prayer group. She is surprised they want to pay for it. She initially wants to decline, because she will not have enough time to finish up the blessing bracelets. However, Flancy and her friends offer to help her, so she can deliver it to them before the expected date. However, it is not just her friends alone, but her parents join them in the making of the blessing bracelets. Her friends create a page for her online so she can sell more. She can deliver to the prayer group and get more orders from other people. It seems the bracelet is working after all. Later, she meets with Jordana and informs her about the blessings bracelets and how she has been getting money from it. She pleads for an extension. Jordana decides to talk to her boss Ben in his office on her behalf. However, upon talking to Ben, it appears that there cannot be an extension for her. She gives Jordana the blessings bracelet and leaves heartbroken. Ben discusses it with Jordana after Dawn leaves. He feels bad about taking people's homes from them. He had taken the job to help people build businesses, but he is not happy because he has been unable to do that. Jordana knows he is a good person at heart. Still, he won't give up, and he decides to seek a way to help the people outside the system. In the next scene, Dawn goes to church to pray for more time, and she believes that God will hear her. Pastor Amelia is happy to see her in church. Dawn is surprised to see her wear the blessing bracelet. She encourages her to keep praying and believing in God, reminding her that the essence of Easter is that it is a season of renewal. Dawn agrees with her and decides to keep being positive. Meanwhile, Ben and Justin get along. He drops him at his house and asks him to extend his greetings to Dawn. Justin guesses that his mother has dozed off while trying to make the blessing bracelet. Recognizing her efforts, he counts his blessings for the hardworking mom he has and wishes he could help ease the burden on her. Later that night, something surprising happens. The ex-husband, Alan, shows up at Dawn's door after 3 years. She is angry at him and wants to know why he is back. He lets her know that he thinks of himself as a failure and apologizes for all he put them through. He offers to help her pay off the debt and even gives her a check. But the shocking thing is that he wants them back together. She can't believe what is happening and asks him to give her time to think about it. Dawn discusses the sudden reappearance of Alan with Cassie. She feels sorry for him, but cannot just bring herself to forgive him. Her friend implores her to give it time. Meanwhile, she has to deliver the 500 blessing bracelets before Easter, but she is short on staff. Cassie discusses with Pastor Amelia and the church volunteer to help her make them. Another blessing she is grateful for. They make the beads in the church. Her friends, Pearl, and the church volunteers help in making the beads. Ben also joins to help her after he got the information from Flancy. Her friends seem to like him too. He gives her an idea of what to name her business, which is Dawn's Design, and she likes the name. After making the beads, Ben suggests she considers selling the blessing bracelet as a business. He also hopes to go out on a date with her when she is less busy. She is hopeful too, because she likes him. Well, would this be possible, with her ex-husband trying to get back with her? We'll see. Like he knows she is trying to move on. Alan texts her after Ben leaves. He asks her to meet him in a restaurant. She meets him there, and he is hopeful she will accept his offer. In a bid to get on her good side, he informs her of his new investment, and that he can afford to take care of them. When she informs him of the blessing bracelets and her plans to start a business with it, he discourages her and insists that he can take care of them. This happens to be the sign she needs to make her decision. She decides to let him go because they cannot work. So she asks him to spend some fatherly time with Justin. But she can't accept his offer of a second chance with her. But Dawn is bothered about her decision to let Alan go, and she discusses it with her mom. Her mom reassures her and believes she will be fine without Alan. When her mom leaves with Justin, Ben comes to visit. He shows her the design for her new business, and he named it Dawn's Design. She loves it and believes Ben is the man for her. He has proven this by supporting her in every way he can. This brings them even closer. Meanwhile, the church volunteers and her friends keep helping her with the making of the blessing bracelets, and Ben keeps supporting her. Also, Justin, Ben, and his dog become closer. Justin never finds it difficult to relate with Ben. They're now buddies. Almost everyone in the church wears her blessings bracelets now. She is making a lot of progress and is grateful to God and the people around her for it. Finally, Alan also dedicates time to bond with Justin. They hang out, and Dawn is happy to see the joy in her son's heart. Dawn is eventually able to pay part of her debt and will not lose her house. She is so happy about the positive change brought about by selling the blessing bracelets. In the next scene, Dawn and Ben go for a walk. He let her know that he is proud of her blessing bracelet business growth. She loves the fact that the process helps bring people together. They stop in front of an ice cream shop that holds fond memories from her childhood, and this gives her plans to have a shop that gives people such experience. They kiss right in front of the ice cream shop, and Ben sees it as a sign to ask her out on a date. Finally, she decides to give love another chance. Jordana calls Dawn to let her know that her boss has extended the deadline because she has caught up with her debt payment. She is happy and grateful to God for answers to her prayers. Her blessing bracelet keeps working for her. That is not all, there's more. Flancy and Norm share the good news with Dawn at the restaurant. One department store has ordered 1,000 blessing bracelets and plans to pay her 50% advance to secure the deal. They want to get the blessing bracelets before Easter. They are happy for her, and she is just surprised because everything keeps working so fast. The church volunteers and her friends continue to support her. They help her in making the new order and plan to finish it before Easter. She is super grateful and decides to give back to the church. She announces to the church volunteers and the pastor that she plans to give the church 15% of her blessing bracelet sales. Her friends and Pastor Amelia are proud of her decision and thank God for bringing her back to the church. She meets Jordana to pay off her debt. Surprised at the speed, she wants to know how she did it and asks for her secret. Dawn lets her know it is Hope. Jordana is happy for her and would love for her to meet her boss. She is surprised to see that it's Ben, and she feels hurt. She thinks she can't trust him, so she gives him the check and leaves without hearing his side of the story. Jordana seems lost in the scenario, but she realizes that Dawn is heartbroken because of her boss. In the next scene, Dawn explains the situation to her mom. She believes that Ben misled her and compares him to Alan, her ex-husband. She finds it difficult to trust again because of Alan. Her mom figures out she likes Ben and encourages her to give him a chance and have faith that things will work between them. Dawn admits she likes Ben. Her mom implores her to forgive Alan and let go of all her grudges and insecurities so her heart can accept Ben. She decides to give it a try. Later, Dawn is with Justin, and he tells her how he is getting along with his dad. Things are getting better between the father and son. Surprisingly, Justin also tells his mom that he likes Ben. He believes he is a good man and will not mind if Ben and his mom end up together. Could this be another sign for her? A day before Easter, Ben and Justin decorate Dawn's new shop. They want to surprise her with the shop, but Ben thinks she will not want to see him because of what happened. Justin knows how much he loves his mom and asks him to be there to surprise her. He gives him the blessing bracelet to count his blessings and believes it will work for him. It's finally Easter. Dawn is happy to celebrate it in church with her family, and she is surprised to see Ben in their church. After the Easter service, she looks for Ben to apologize for her behavior towards him. On her way, she comes across Pastor Amelia, who thanks her. She believes she has impacted lives with her blessings bracelets and also allowed people to remember God by being grateful to him. Pearl also appreciates her for giving her the blessing bracelet. It has changed her life, and she now counts her blessings, not dwelling on the past. Dawn is happy to see a smile on her face, especially with how beautiful she looks when she wears a smile. She later finds Ben with Justin and Lolly. He tries apologizing to her, but she feels she is the one that needs to apologize to him for not trusting him enough because of her past. He is happy that she is not angry at him. Then Justin mentions that Lolly has a surprise for her. Upon checking Lolly's neck belt, she finds a key. They ask her to follow them. Remember the ice cream shop that holds fond memories for her. That's where they take her. It happens to be her new shop, where she will sell her blessing bracelets. She is greatly surprised and confused. She feels reluctant to accept the gift. Ben explains that he quit his job because he desires to help people. He purchased the space and decided to lend it to her. What a man. She apologizes for allowing her past to affect what they had going on. She has let go of her past, forgiven her ex-husband, and decided to give him a chance. He accepts her apology, and she also accepts the surprise. They are now partners. Happily, they hug each other. Justin is happy to see them back together. While Dawn is with her parents and Justin in their house, he is unaware that a surprise awaits him. Dawn and Ben have planned a little surprise for him. She got him a dog because he successfully passed the test of taking care of Lolly. He is so excited to finally have his own dog. His grandma asks him to name the dog. He eventually names the dog Hope. Together, they count their blessings and are grateful for everything. Dawn and Ben kiss romantically to a new beginning.